All right, good evening, everybody. Can people hear me? Good, good. I can see a yes. Right, we're using a new system tonight, so this is the first ever presentation using it. So, having just come off of a presentation on Zoom, right, we're gonna kick off. So, Jen, are you? I can see you're on. Do you want to join me on video? Good evening.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. You?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. That's not a show kitchen, by the way. That is Jen's house. So, Jen, what I was going to do is before we kick off, I just wanted to give everyone a quick update on the app for 2 seconds. So, guys, just to let you know that the thank you to the testing groups. You guys will know who you are. I think some of you might be on this call. We've had a couple of WhatsApp groups with the new app that's been tested by a few of you the last week or two. Feedback's been really good. And we will be launching it on Monday for everybody. So there'll be some communication that comes out from the marketing team, just letting everybody know they can go into the App Store and download on Apple or, God forbid, Android. If you're an Android, I'm an Android user, by the way, but most of you seem to be Apple. So that's positive news. And off the back of that, we've had a bunch of feedback around different features, and we will be coming out to everybody with a list of features stroke small fixes that will be implemented over the coming weeks just to polish up the current product before we then run in to additional features. So that'll be stuff like, as an example, when you load up your programming at the moment, if you've forgotten an exercise when you get to the bottom, you can only add it at the bottom when you should be able to add it in between and go back up and drag and drop. So that's something that's been called out. It was replicated on TrueCoach originally. We're going to fix it and make that better. So, right, I'll leave it there. The comms will be on the email list. So, like I said, you'll all get that over the next sort of few days from the marketing team. So, right, welcome, Jen, and welcome everybody. So, to set the scene on this session and why we thought it would be helpful. So, thank you everybody for joining. And Jen, thank you for recreating what me and you did a few weeks back when you contacted me and said, Lee, I want to set up all these direct debits, and can we have a walkthrough? And so me and Jen had a call, and it was really empowering when we talked about her decision making, what she was doing, and then we decided it would be really good if we shared it with everyone else. So we're here basically to, we're not going to reenact it, are we? But we're going to have a conversation around what you do, why you're doing it, and that other people can do it, because everybody can do it. And Jen, that'll come from why you're moving to this kind of hybrid model, down to how you do it, how you get your customers. And we talked about you don't need a big following, you just need some engagement, etc., etc. So this is unscripted, so I'm going to say, how should we go about this? So the backdrop is that, do you want to tell everybody your story and why you've changed the model of your business through, like you said, about being exhausted, etc., etc. And then from that, we'll just maybe give them a demo, and I've got a list of questions that we'll banter through, and then people can do a Q&A at the end.
Sure. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Jen. I am a personal trainer based up in Edinburgh in Scotland, and I've been PTing now for 8 years. I love what I do. It's great. I really enjoy. I started out in a big gym, so I actually started out with David Lloyd, and worked there, and then quite quickly established that I wanted to do this for myself, and so I started up and got myself a little gym organized, and I have 3 kids, so my life is kind of hectic and busy, and slotting everything in around them tends to end up being an endless juggle. So I wanted to start building a few processes with my business that meant that I could still give my clients what they were wanting and help them as much as I possibly can. But I was going to need a platform to do that from, and I didn't really know where to start, and I didn't really know how to go about it. And then Lee and I got chatting, and I got introduced to Hapori, and it's been brilliant because it's been able to help me build my business in a way that I can still continue what I'm doing, but I can also supplement what I'm doing with all the features that it offers. So it was just, it was a great way for me to take my business, that sort of next stage that I needed to move on to, so that I could, with the advent of the amount of online stuff that's going on, when we hit the pandemic, it was a bit like, ooh, how are we going to do this? And actually, this has given me a platform that I can take everything forward with. So
yeah, thanks, Jen. So if we go through what we talked about, so Jen contacted me, and she started to do a subscription model where she would load up sessions within the hub and then subscribe users that she was transferring onto a digital platform. And again, Jen, you still do one-to-one as well, don't you, in your gym?
yeah,
in the basement of your house.
yeah.
So I suppose the first thing we talked about was, you said that you were suffering burnout and you needed to look at a new model. So I suppose the question I've had from a lot of coaches is that getting started. How do I, from today, I'm running a load of clients one-to-one and I'm tired and I'm overwhelmed. It's simple enough to say, I just put stuff into a hub. But if you share with them what you did, it's not going to be suitable for everybody, but it will give them an idea. So that's from, what was the approach? How did you go about it? How many did you do weekly? How did you film it? Because your videos are quite good on Instagram, what your audience was. So I won't chuck too much at you now, but it's that, how did you start, and where is it at, I suppose?
Yeah. So I guess the process, because obviously when you're tired and burnt out, the last thing you can be bothered doing is actually starting something new and going, but it was actually so much easier than I thought, because I already had all the content. So the way that I run it is that I do classes, I do live online classes for my clients. I offer that as part of the package that they get with me. So I do one-to-one sessions with them, and then in between I offer them fitness classes so that they can come along, and there are other sessions they can do in the week, because ultimately, personal training is quite expensive for some people. They can't necessarily afford 3 sessions a week. So maybe they can do 1 session a week with me, and they could do another couple of my classes, which works out a bit cheaper for them, and I'm still able to help them on their journey. So I was doing these classes, and it hadn't really occurred to me that, well, I should just record what I'm doing, and then I can then just upload them, and then they're there for my clients to access at any point. So I just started recording a couple of my classes. Now, between you and I, again, I was doing these classes and I was like, oh, I'm so exhausted. Like I'm jumping around on screen with people, like I'm shattered. But then my mindset shifted from, right, well, I'm giving value to my clients here. They're getting a workout. I'm doing a recording, and then that's going to be forever there for them to access. And actually, I don't have to do anything extra. Again, I just record them on my phone. So got myself a little $9.99 tripod off Amazon, plonked it at the back of my laptop, and then set my phone to record. And then I would record the class, and I just then thought, right, I can just upload it. So I just really gradually started to sort of build up a few classes and then put them in. And then I thought, well, hang on a second, I've now got like a library sat there. And actually, maybe people can't, another thing was, people were maybe saying to me, oh, Jen, I can't come to your class at X time. And I was like, well, hang on a second, I've now got a library that you can access at any time to help you. So, again, I was like, well, I could then start a subscription where people can just pay a monthly fee and then they have access to that library at any time they want. And all I'm doing is just uploading after every class. So it then kind of all started to fall into place. And I just thought that's quite a simple process. And actually, it's helping me out and it's helping my clients out. So that was kind of how it started. Was I just thought, right, well, I should just keep a hold of these classes and upload them to the platform, and then they're sat there. And then from there, I then started to think about, well, how can I make this look really nice, and what else can I add into that? What would I want, that would help me out? So what else can I put in there for people? And it just snowballed from there, really.
Yeah. So outside of the classes, I've now we're gonna show them a demo of your branded version, which, like I said, I like your branding, but you're going to log in to one of my test accounts so we don't share your customers' data, etc. Do you want to, Jen? Do you want to share your screen and open that up? Hopefully, it works because I sent you the logins.
Yep.
So you click into the link, which is your DNS. Then you put the password,
okay,
and my email address in, and it should open it up for you.
Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Hold on a second then. Let's go into here. Right. Can you see?
Yes. So I can see my fake customers.
Great.
Along with your brand. So that's your branded version of Hapori, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what it looks like when I go into it, apart from the people being different. So yeah, it looks like this. So, right. What would you like me to show?
So if you click into the hub. So again, this is going to be a bit strange because you don't have the content in front of you, but do you want to just give an overview of the kind of things you've got in there? Obviously, the groupings on the side. So I'm assuming everybody on here is either a part of our business already or they're on our emailing list. So they're thinking of joining us. So if you just want to, so basically, all clients get access to their own platform through Hapori. Hapori means community for those people that don't know. Okay, you invite a customer into your community, and they get hub access as well as programs and all kinds of other stuff, weekly check-ins, progress photos, all in a digital platform. Tonight, we're talking about Jen's built a hub of content, a bunch of groups with a subscription model that people just pay a month. So it's like Jen Murray Netflix, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone just logs in. You get a direct debit every month. You just upload a couple of videos. But Jen, I'm a coach. I'm really confused. What do I do? What kind of stuff? So what do the classes look like? And what's the other content that you've filtered in? And what does a week look like around time and content to get it in there? And then we'll go on to how you get those customers, where you get them from, and I'm imagining they're hybrid. So some are one-to-one and they pay subscription, others might only be subscription. So if we start with the content, maybe just take them around the hub without, like I said, I know it's strange because it's not your detail, and there's probably some weird videos in there that I've put in around people doing weird workouts. So
yeah.
that.
No, that's okay. Well, so basically the great thing, so I mean there's a whole load of categories in here. So you can make all your own categories, which is what's awesome about Hapori. You can literally have it set totally to you. So mine is not too dissimilar to this. So I have the classes, and in the classes, so I've got a workout section, and I've got it divided up. So within that, if we go into yours, we're going to have a look. So within my workout section, I've got a couple of subcategories, and so I've got like full body workouts, and then I've got like shorter workouts. So I've got area specific workouts, like I've got an upper body blast, a lower body blast, core sections. That's a massively popular one with clients, so things like if they've gone out for a run, and then they just want to come in, they're already warm, they don't need to do a warm-up or anything like that, but they want to do a little core section at the end of their run. They can come in, they can log in, they do a core section, So I have course specific videos. They're maybe like 10 minutes long, and they've taken me 10 minutes to record, and then I just simply upload them into the hub. So all the workouts are within there, and then when you go in, you can see, you click in, and you hit play, boom, there you go. So not too dissimilar to what I do on screen. So you can see there's a whole load of bits, but if we go back into the main hub, I've then got a nutrition area. So again, I upload a load of recipes in there for my clients. I just every month I whack a whole load of new recipes in there for them. So their content is always being updated. They've always got new things coming in, and really it's not, like, it does take time to come up with it, but actually in the grand scheme of my week, I tend to run my format that in the mornings is when I train my one-to-one clients. I do 3 live classes a week. And so after I've done each of those live classes, what I'll do is I then just crop the video, which literally takes me 5 minutes. And then I upload it into the hub, and it's a 5-minute job to just plonk it in there, pop the date. The other brilliant thing when you upload something into your hub is you can auto compose an email to all of your clients to let them know that you've put new content in there. So say they are, whatever, they've missed the class and they're not, they're not, their day's a bit manic, they're a bit busy, they'll get an email from me to say, just let you know, I've uploaded a new workout to the hub. I often put a little something about what's specific to today's workout, and then they can go in and they can access that at another time. So the nutrition side of things, I've then got some, now I know like quite a lot of PTs do it. We all tend to we write PDFs and we kind of hand them out, and sometimes we've got them in a Google Doc and we sort of plonk them out to clients when they first sign up with us. And this is somewhere that you can keep all your documents so your clients can access them at any point. So again, like there's the basics of fat loss, how to calculate your TDEE, all these sorts of things that, you maybe have the conversation with clients and then they maybe forget. It's all there for them to access. So once they sign up with you, they can go in and get that data anytime that they need it. So I think really...
So Jen, 1 second, just to add there, a lot of that stuff is included in the 10 free ebooks, yeah?
Yeah.
So again, if you buy the branded version, you can get the branded ebooks. I think they're £5 each. So, and again, each one, I mean, the recipe ones I think they have 12 to 15 pictures in, and to buy a picture is about £5. So each one would cost hundreds of pounds if you produced it yourself. So you get all 10 free with the Hapori version, as most of you will know because you probably have them, but you can brand them as well if you want to match your hub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, it is, yes, it seems like quite a lot of work to get it up and running, but actually the way that I did it, I just kind of gradually introduced it into my sort of what I was currently doing. And, it's like the old thing of just, a little bit here and a little bit there. Within, no time, I'd kind of built up a bit more than I'd realized. And it was just a wee 5 minutes after I trained my clients. I thought, right, I'll just upload that video. I'll quickly do that recipe, and then boom, in it goes. And so it kind of, it seems like a lot when you look at what there is now, but actually it's just integrating those tiny little bits and staying consistent with it, like everything, consistency. And you just chip away at it and it comes.
Yeah, Jen, so I suppose a question is, so you've got your content, you've got your, I know, I think you said you had 18 to 20 clients one-to-one. Do you just upsell immediately and just say, hey guys, this is X amount a month. Do you want all this access? And the first step is to get your current clients paying a bit more for a better service before you then, how did that work? Just to let the guys know.
So I think it was one of those situations. I probably have a little bit of a non-conventional selling method, I would say. So sorry, someone's phone's going in the background. Apologies. I don't really, I'm a rubbish salesman. There's the bottom line. But I don't necessarily upsell. What I do in a consultation now is I will chat to the client and see what's going to fit best with what they want. And sometimes they want the one-to-one and they need the one-to-one, and I sort of judge that on the client. But sometimes they they might just want a little bit of guidance around it and around the area, and so I don't tend to upsell them straight away. I'd probably go in at the lowest price point, tell them what that offers, and then actually they naturally start to come back and question, and they'll say, oh, okay, but so if I wanted that, how much would that be? And then you kind of, before you know where you are, they've actually talked themselves into the upsell, and you haven't had to upsell them at all, because when they understand what you can offer, they want it. It's a great product for them, and it works really well for me. So
yeah, and we talked about your Instagram following, and that you said that although it grows steadily, you've got a decent amount of engagement with what we would consider a smaller number of followers, but you've been picking up and getting clients in weekly into the hub, which necessarily haven't been one-to-one clients.
yeah, totally. So I mean, yeah, I don't have a big Instagram following at all. But very often, it's little things like you maybe put up a picture. So after I've done a class, put up a picture of like, great class with the team today, and then someone might write back, and again, it's interacting with the people that get in touch with you. And if you're just yourself and you answer back, and you can give them helpful information and advice, they're going to come back to you. So it is just about engaging with the people that you have, and actually focusing on helping those people rather than worrying about getting more people in. I think if you just focus on the people that you have and helping them as much as you possibly can, then the other thing is word of mouth. They say to their friend, oh, have you seen this girl? I follow her, or I'm using this PT, she does this for me. And then their friends like, oh, that sounds great, tell me more. And so they kind of chat amongst each other. And I've picked up, I'm Edinburgh based, and I don't have a big following, but I've got people down in London, I've got people in Wales, I've got one girl over in the States. There are people who are from all over the place.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And Jen, do you do, because again, guys, when you upload in the hub, if you sign someone up, they get access to something called the free area. So straight away you can allocate subscription. So example, you might have 500 videos in there, and you can put access to all and just click 3. Then people can join, and then they only get the 3 videos. But what they're then in your mailing list in the email section. So like Jen said, they might have dialed in and they've got, I don't know, they've got 1 free workout and a couple of the ebooks, but then you can market to them through email to upgrade them into a paying customer. So that mailing list is really important to get people on it. I think it's overlooked sometimes that mailing lists are really important. I mean, I'll give you an example. Even within our business, we do our marketing. People don't see Hapori Coach and then sign up immediately and pay us. A lot of them will come to a session like this. They will watch us for a while, and then one day they'll get an email of something we're talking about or an offer, and they'll purchase. And that might be someone who's been on a mailing list for a year. So it's a slow burn. Keep them on your mailing list, and one day you'll get them. So don't let them go. Jen, I'm just looking here about, I don't think we need to show it. Do you think it's intuitive enough? If someone wants to upload a class, put a picture in, obviously it's all pretty simple, isn't it? And they are on the support section. You can learn how to do that stuff. So camera wise, you've just got an iPhone.
Yep.
And a tripod.
The old faithful.
Yeah.
The old faithful does the job nicely. Tripod with a ring, literally $9.99 off Amazon.
Yeah, and
Like,
they all pay through Stripe, where they just get a ping on their phone. It goes into what's technically a monthly payment.
Yeah.
And then if they stop paying, they get locked out. So really simple.
It's so simple. I don't need to keep a track of it in that sense, as in they sign up once and actually then the payment just keeps coming. And actually, if they don't do the payment, it automatically shuts them out. So it's not like you need to go in and check, oh, hang on a second, have you paid me? And you don't need to do any of that. It's kind of all done for you, which is awesome.
And from a charging perspective, it's 1.6% that Stripe take, which we can't do anything about, and then we take 20 pence. So, like I said, it's pretty poor at the moment from us, to be honest. We should probably take more, but at this early stage, like I said, until things move in a way where I think it will go up eventually. But if you're in early, I think, like I said, it's if you sell a £500 package, you get charged 20 pence from us. It's not too bad, is it? And again, if you're taking 40 quid a month off someone and we take 20 pence, again, I think it's cost effective. So, Jen, is there anything else that you would call out that was important for the coaches to consider, or do you think it's just being brave, getting some stuff in there, talking to people, and adding value?
Yeah, I do. I think it's just, it's just being brave and actually just going for it and stick it in the hub. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. It's there. So you just it gives your clients value and it helps you out as well. So it saves you on time. It gives your clients loads of value. It's a no-brainer, genuinely.
Yeah, good. So I'm just looking at the questions. So I'm just thinking about, like I said, guys, this is unscripted, so it's just a conversation because we wanted to kind of let you guys sort of have some value from us. Should we go to questions now? Because I'm just conscious that we've been on for half an hour. We've got 10 minutes. I can see. Okay, so I can see a question. So I've got one here from Darren, which says, on pricing, without giving away what you charge, how did you put value to your bottom price on Hapori? As you mentioned that you upsell without even trying. As you say, people have a different idea of the value of a PT.
Okay, I could give that a bash.
Go for
it. Okay, so basically, I had people paying me how I actually worked it out. I had people paying me X amount for a class, and then they were coming to maybe 2 or 3 classes a week. So then I was like, right, if I was going to give that as an unlimited number that you could come to as many times as you wanted, what would I give to that? And so let's say realistically, someone's probably not going to log in more than 3 or 4 times a week. So if I was to charge out the class at 3 or 4 times the individual price each week, multiply that by 4, and then go, right, now I'm going to reduce that slightly because they're going to give me that money every single month. That was the ballpark that I sat in. And that was what then provided me with a figure to go with. So then once I started pitching it to people and people literally bit my hand off for it, I was like, well, that was really easy. Okay, well, do you know what? I'm going to keep it at that because actually I'm not having to do a huge amount of extra work for it, but it's giving everyone so much value and it seems to be going really well. So that was kind of how I arrived at where I got with the first figure. And then after that, I do use my individual PT per hour amount for the other options that I offer. So it kind of, it seemed easy enough from there. I hope that makes sense. Does that?
And one thing we've got to mention here, because we talked about it last week, you went skiing and you still got paid while you were away because
I did.
they were still paying you. So, which again changes the game from stopping with all your one-to-one clients and.
Totally. Do you know, it meant I could go away and have a holiday. Do you know the other thing is as well, and I know if many of you are PTs out there, you will feel guilty when you go on holiday because you're like, oh, I'm abandoning my clients and I've left them. And I used to feel so guilty because I didn't have anything to leave them with. Whereas again, even my clients, so again, this is something I do with my clients. Anytime, if I have one-to-one clients who are not signed up to my hub, because I do have people who are just one-to-one, when I go away, I say to them, right, I'm going to give you a week's access to the hub. So if you want some workouts when I'm away, they're all there for you to access. And actually, it's not going to cost me anything. My client thinks they're getting a brilliant deal because actually they're getting workouts while I'm away on holiday. They get uninterrupted help with their exercise, and I can go away on my holiday guilt-free. So it ticks everyone's box. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I suppose the advantage here, as well, I suppose just thinking about it, and I've just come up with this. So if I joined your hub now, a year in, God, do I get a lot of content I've got to get through even before you upload some new stuff for me? Yeah. So
exactly.
at which point, the same amount of work each week, if I don't know, let's say you commit to, I'm going to do 3 classes a week, so it's 3 hours work. I've got 50 people paying me £30 a month. And then next month or the month after, I can get that to 100 people. I've got £36,000 a year, and I do 3 hours work a week, basically. And then as it grows, the money goes like that, the workload goes like that, because it stays the same.
Yeah.
But every time you get more people in, you just grow.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, totally.
So, and if I'm joining your hub and I've got 500 classes in there from the last year or two, then I'm never going to be bored, am I?
Yeah, no.
So good. Okay. I've got another question from, okay. So Holly's just said that, so she runs monthly payments for her classes and it keeps them consistent and it commits them to coming on. So it's great that if we push that into the hub. And then Rachel said, do you work with any international clients? If so, do you adapt pricing or do they just pay the equivalent in their currencies? So you've got someone who pays dollars, I think you said.
Yeah. I don't see any of that. I have no idea. I'm
No,
not gonna lie.
you just put the money in and it'll
Yeah. And it
strike
sorts
do
it
a
out.
currency
Yeah.
conversion. Because again, I think it's worth saying, isn't it, Jen, that through the financial bit, all those debits get paid into Stripe, go into your account, and then it's loading up in the financial area so you can run your month and year end financials as well.
Yeah.
So again, it's keeping your finances and your invoicing and et cetera, all in order as well. Okay, any other questions from anybody? We've got 5 or 6 minutes left. This new system's okay, actually.
It's working. It's working well.
Just an update on people that have interviewed for the wellbeing presenter roles as well. So there's another few weeks of interviewing, and then I think a bunch of people got emails around being successful in phase 1, and then I think we'll move on to phase 2 middle of April. So that'll be mentioned then. Okay. Right. So Rachel says thank you for the answer. Is there any questions? Come on, guys. There's a load of you on. Anything you want to ask Jen, especially around anything about what you're thinking of doing, what works. Clearly, as a model, this is something I think everybody should consider. If you've got content and it's valuable, put it in there and let people pay for it. Okay, and add more value. So anybody else got any questions? Someone said, can I get one of those Hapori t-shirts? Yes, you can.
Can I get one too?
Yeah, sure. And then I got come on, any questions? I feel like we. Okay, so Jez has asked, how strategic are you with your content? Is it just what you're passionate about?
Okay. Are you meaning social media content, or I guess that means social media content, is it?
I don't know. Jez, do you mean do you mean the hub content or do you mean social media content? Or both?
Both. Okay, so the hub content is my classes. It's what I do. So I program my clients, I run them through training blocks. So it's all consistent with that. And my social media is slightly more sporadic. I would suggest my social media is a little bit of, well, actually, what gives me really good ideas for my content is talking with people. So I quite often will put polls on my stories or little questions on my stories, and loads people will respond to those, and when they respond, that gives you great ideas for your content because it tells you what they're wanting to know about or anything. So I often will do a Q&A weekly, and people will pop questions into the box, and then obviously I also get my ideas for my content from my clients. So like questions that my clients have asked me during those sessions, those days, they'll quite often come up in, I with my content for my social media, I'm just trying to answer people's questions and help them and give them helpful advice so that they feel they've got somewhere that, they can go to. The internet is filled with loads of random fitness rubbish. So it's, somewhere that they can go, that they get advice on the things that they're wondering about, basically.
Good, thanks, Jen. So I've got one from Jason Gardner, which says, one second. It's all right. Loads of people are asking now. Right. Can you sell your own merchandise through Hapori? So I think within the package section, you can do an individual item, put a price on it, and sell it to a customer. Obviously, you've then just got the logistics of delivering it to them through I don't know, however you see fit, but you can make the transactions through the product. And then moving in to Holly's question and Sky asking the same, so there is on this improvement list, which is happening in the next few weeks, there is the multi sign up, where at the moment is, again, because it was built from a gym perspective originally, you put in a client's name and email, then you click a button and it sends them a link to fill out all the rest of the stuff. We want to create a direct link that through Instagram, through Facebook, or on your website, someone can just click, go in and join the free area. And then also there is a section that we're building where you can advertise the packages in there and people can purchase them. So that is something that is in the pipeline and is coming shortly, because again, it will increase. So again, Jen, going back to what you were saying, someone sees a post, they can click on a link, they can go in, they can see all the packages you sell, and they can just buy one, and then they just go in to the system. So that is something that has to happen, guys. And again, that's just a progression of where we are today. I would say if you get to a point where you're getting fed up of typing in a person's name and email address and loading them in, you're in a really good position because you're getting loads of signups. So absolutely, it will be done. In the short term, it's not quite there yet, but it is on that list. The same as also if you're selling a package or a program, to click multiple clients at the same time to put a program out, etc. So yeah, but we'll get there with this stuff. Like I said, we're iPhone 2 and we need to get into double figures at some point. So we're working hard to do that, and we'll be asking questions to you all in the coming weeks and months to improve what we've built. Any other questions?
I think there's another one from Darren. Have you found selling through Hapori has established a niche or type of client that works well with you, or varied client ages, levels of fitness? I would say that I don't know if I guess I attract a particular type of client as it is. Most of them have come through social media, to be honest, and on there it kind of says what I do. So the people that I focus on, and I think people gravitate towards you. I tend to end up in the mum category with lots of mums of kids of varying ages, because obviously I can relate well to that, and I'm in that position myself. So my fitness is probably zoned around that as well. One of the reasons I use the hub is because actually when I had just had my babies, who are now 12, 10, and 5, when I just had them, I found it really hard to fit in exercise around things. And, class times are not always exactly when your baby needs fed or when your baby's napping or whatever the situation is that you're in. So having an on-demand service meant that if I had somewhere that I could let my clients go to when their baby is napping, which maybe doesn't tie in with my class time, then that would work really well for them. So that was another, it was almost like, I guess my clients are almost like I am. And so I would think of my problems and what would I like to solve that problem. And Hapori ticks all the boxes for me. You know, it allows me to help my clients as much as possible, which is probably what I would have wanted when I was going through that, if you like. Does that help? Oh, thanks.
Right. Okay. I think just any more questions? We'll give it last one, and then we'll say thank you to everybody, and especially to you, Jen. Someone's typing. Actually, James Gray said that there was a question in the group. So, James, if you're still on, if you want to put it on here, I'm looking at my phone to see which group it's in. And see if we can answer that one, Jen, then we'll finish.
Perfect. Well, we could maybe organize that. So someone said, thank you. I'd love to see your actual area so we could see a sample video. I could maybe send Lee like a clip of one of my videos. I'm just trying to think how I could show that to you all now, like short of going into my photos and seeing what I've got.
So James has asked, bit of a weird one, but if you only grant PT access when you sign them up, one sec, my phone's just locked out. They can see the hub too. Is this meant to be this way, or is this just for me and my clients? So they would be able to see the free section, I believe. But again, that's as a tempter to get them hub access and charge them, I believe, James. Again, happy to have a conversation about that, but I believe that's the case, that anybody signing up should be able to see the free section. Is that correct, Jen?
Yeah, I think when you sign up, you'll see the hub, and then if they click on any of the sections, it just gives a little funky sign that just says nothing in here. So it just looks empty, I think,
Yeah.
as far as they're concerned. But if they then sign up, it then allows them in and they can see everything.
Right. Great. Okay. Let's so first of all, Jen, thank you very much for giving us your time this evening. It's been
sorry, can I just interrupt one more?
Yeah.
Just going back to what Rebecca wrote. If she goes onto my Instagram stories just now, she'll get a picture of my sample, like what my setup looks like. As in, I have coincidentally on my stories a little ring light and my computer, and you can see my gym in the background of the picture. So if you jump on, you'll be able to have a little look.
Great. Thanks,
Awesome.
Jen. So thank you very much, Jen, for giving us your time today. It's very much appreciated. If anybody has any other questions, then if you email hello@hapori.com, then I will answer them or pass them to Jen. Okay. And guys, thank you for everybody who's joined tonight, and hopefully it's been helpful. And like I said, we as in us at Hapori, really appreciate you all coming on board and sticking with us. And like I said, since our launch, we've got a 93% retention rate. So when a coach goes on, they stay with us. So it's really impressive. And like I said, it makes me quite proud that we're getting there. So like I said, we've got a long way to go, but it adds value. And like I said, this is a really interesting model, because how great to earn passive income and be able to grow your business. And again, there's still 50% off for people that haven't joined for the next few months. So it's £12.50 a month, which is, I mean, it's a coffee a week, isn't it? For someone, is it worth a coffee a week to give all of that to your clients? I'd say yes, but I'm biased, I suppose. So thank you, everybody. Like I said, again, I know people are in the WhatsApp group for the testing, some of you, and I can see some of those names. So guys, good luck. And like I said, feed in any questions. just to let you all know, the next session in a couple of weeks is going to be an interesting one. We're going to get a couple of our coaches who are gym owners. They own commercial gyms in cities, and they're going to talk you through how they did that, the pains, the commitments, the loans, and how you go from being in a gym to running a commercial unit, if that's what you aspire to do in the future, or they might even put you off because of the pressures and the commitments. But we thought it might be an interesting one just to allow you to ask those people questions about how they went from being in a commercial gym as a self-employed PT to running a gym, buying the equipment, getting the lease, looking at the demographic and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be the next one in a couple of weeks. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Jen, thank you as always. And we will, like I said, everybody keep in touch. We're contactable. If you do want a t-shirt, you can message me and I'll see how many spares we've got. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.